Seconds out, delighted to be joined by Jordan Gill. How have you been getting on in lockdown, aside from growing out your hair and your beard simultaneously?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Very good. Everything has gone really well for me. I think I've made the best of a bad situation, and I think a lot of people have been struggling. But lockdown has been good for me, and no complaints here.
Until recently, what have you been able to do in terms of training and keeping to a routine?
I've been doing obviously shadow boxing and bag work. At the start of lockdown, I made sure that I got a bag straight away, put that up in the garden. I made sure that I had plenty of sort of gym equipment, weights equipment, etc. Made sure I had a fresh pair of running shoes to get the runs in. And I'm lucky I'm in a good position because my dad was my amateur coach. So we've always had pads and body bags and things like that in the house. So he's been taking me on pads. My dad has been on FaceTime sessions. Like I've been doing pads with my dad on FaceTime to Dave 3 times a week. In between those days, I've been just doing normal sort of technique pads with my dad or bag work. And then in the afternoons, I've been doing all my runs, what I'd normally do with my S&C coach, Danny Wilson. And then he's been on the FaceTime as well, taking me through my S&C sessions. So, yeah, I've pretty much, when I was at home, I stuck to a routine that I'd normally be in Sheffield. So it was just like a training camp for me.
Was it kind of the sensible decision to go back home once lockdown was imposed? Because although you've got a place that you stay in Sheffield, you obviously want to be around your family if you can't train as well.
Yeah, that's right. I don't have any friends in Sheffield, or only a few. Like I'm not sociable, or I haven't got anything here apart from training. So I go to the gym and I go to a flat and go to sleep, go to the kitchen and eat, and that's it. So it was a no-brainer for me to be home. As the day that Boris locked everything down, I just got home because obviously everyone knew it was coming. And I made sure I got home, spent some time with family, and it was actually a blessing in disguise, really, because it's been the longest time that I've spent at home since I turned professional. And I just got married in December, so it's nice to spend so much time with my wife, and should be around mum and dad and my sister and her fiance. So we had a really good time. Made the best of a bad situation. Got the board games out. I was playing a bit of cards, and it was really good.
What's your favourite board game wise? What are you good at?
Do you know what? I've got a very simple mind. I like Guess Who.
I like Guess Who. Yeah, I play it with my son quite a lot. Actually, I lose quite a lot as
Good
well.
game, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just have to be careful what you say. Like what features you point out now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You got married in December, so congratulations, of course. How's that going to work in terms of, will she stay down where your family are, or will she come up to Sheffield with you when you're in camp?
She'll be staying at home where my family is in Cambridgeshire, so she'll be staying there. She's got a job there, and she's been working there. We've been together forever, so it's not going to be a problem. We manage, and I'm back most weekends, and we spend as much time together as we can. I know if she's got a day off, she'll come up to Sheffield, or at a camp, then I'll spend more time at home. But I think we just come to the terms with the fact that for the next however long my career lasts now, it's going to be like this. And after a fight, we can have a good couple of weeks and where we can enjoy each other's company, and then it's back to business.
When you first heard about the plan for Matchroom's fight camp at the headquarters, before you knew you personally were going to be involved, what was your idea of it? What did you think when you were told that was the plan going forward?
I thought it was good. I thought, is making moves. It's another thing that Eddie's done to separate himself from the rest. I think, over the last 6-7 years, probably a bit longer. You know, he's established himself as number one promoter in the country, definitely, if not number one in the world. And you know, he keeps innovating, keeps striving for more success, and keeps pushing the boat further. So I expected it from him, because I know he's got that mentality, and you know, is looking like he's going to be delivered like really well. So it's exciting. It's very exciting for everyone, and to be involved, to have the opportunity to fight on the first show is huge.
Now, we talked before about Tony Bellew's retirement and the type of void that left in Dave Coldwell's gym. Since we last spoke, Anthony Fowler's also moved on to a new gym. Are you feeling more and more like the main man in that gym now? Obviously, you've got the McDonald's there as well, so maybe not.
No, yeah, I'm not the main man. Dave's the main man. He's the
Oh,
boss. I turn up. I follow instructions. I try and get it right. It doesn't always work, but you know, I just turn up every day and apply myself the best I can, and give everything 100%, because that's all I can do. I don't think I'm the main man, or think whoever else is the main man. I'll tell you who is going to be the main man. I think Hopey Price, the young man coming through. He's only 20 years old, and you know, I'm seeing stuff from him every week now. He's getting better and better, and I'm seeing stuff that says to me that in another 3 years he should be at world level.
Now, you and Reece Bellotti is a fight that's been talked about for quite a while. I think, obviously, we know in the boxing industry that it's a really intriguing fight, but I think some of the casual fans out there will look at Reece's recent form and say, well, you know, he's lost 3 of his last 5. He lost notably to Ryan Doyle, who you then beat. And they'll say, well, is this a mismatch? I know it's not, and you know it's not. But what can you say to people out there that explains why this is actually a really good domestic clash?
Yeah, it's definitely not a mismatch. You know, if you look at his career, the 2 losses he's had since Doyle. Obviously, Doyle was always going to be a good fight, and it was a fight that he was probably winning, and just got caught. I was there that night. It was about 100 million degrees in York Hall, and I think if anybody got hit with a good shot, it was probably going to hit the floor, and that's what happened. Obviously, the ref waved it off, and you know, the other 2 fights, his last one was to Ryan Walsh, who's arguably European level, and the other one was over in Italy, and they were both split decisions. So, you know, you can't really take too much from people's losses. I think stylistically, it's just a real clash of styles, and it's going to be very intriguing. So for the casual fans, I think it's going to be intriguing. I think everyone in boxing is intrigued. Everyone in boxing is actually saying, you know, it's a 50-50 fight. So I think it's gonna be a good fight, and I can see it. I can only see it being entertaining. I can't see it being a dull fight at all. You know, he's an aggressive fighter. He's an all action fighter, and the one attribute that I think he has got that's world level is power. I think he's got world level power, and with 12 knockouts out of 14 wins in the featherweight division, that you can't really argue at that. And you know, he's former Commonwealth champion. He's won a couple other belts, and you know, this is a must-win fight for us both. So he'll come and bring everything he's got and put it all on the line, and so will I.
How much does it play into your motivation that the last time some people saw you was against Tinoco, and that wasn't you on the night? You weren't at 100%, as we've since found out. So how important is it to you that you go out there and show people the real Jordan Gill, if you like?
It's very important. I'm not thinking about that fight. I'm thinking about what's in front of me, and all I'm worried about, all I'm concerned about, is putting on a good performance, and giving everybody the best of what I can do. And I think it's something that I haven't actually done as a pro yet. Like I've never come out and been really 100% happy with a performance. So to be able to do that would be nice. And I think everything's going the way that it should be in camp. There's no reason why I can't go out and put on a good performance. So, you know, I'm sure he'll bring the best out of me. And I'm sure he'll pose new challenges that I've not faced before. But this is boxing. It's why we love the sport, and I'm seeing this as a great fight. I've not boxed since September, and I was meant to have a good fight in December, and due to health reasons, I couldn't fight. And then I was meant to fight in March in another comeback fight, and obviously that week was the first show cancelled. So Boris Johnson shut down the whole country, and the whole show got cancelled. And now we're here, and the fights that have got to be made are big fights and exciting fights. And I think this definitely counts as a big, exciting fight, and a fight that I think if I win puts me straight back where I was before the Tinoco loss. And that's something that, you know, I've been itching to get back there, and itching to prove that I am at that level and beyond. I don't think I think Reece Bellotti is a good, solid British level fighter, and depending on the sort of performance I put in, depending on the result, should show that I'm above that level, and I'm confident I am.
We've got the MTK Golden Contract in your division as well, and we're hoping that still comes to fruition, the final, at some point this year. You've got Ryan Walsh, who we've talked about already, against James Jazza Dickens. What do you make of that fight, and who do you fancy?
I think it's a great fight. Really, really good fight. I like both of them fighters. They're great. And it was a fight that I was praying to happen in the semi-finals. Because I think really when you looked at the semis, out of the 4 fighters left, I probably saw Tyrone McCulloch as the weakest link, and probably the easiest touch. So my friend was in there. One of my best mates, Lee Wood, was in the tournament. So I was praying that he got McCulloch. So I know obviously the other 2 are going to be a harder fights. So I was a bit gutted that because I was there that night as well. So I was hoping to see a good fight, but you know, it didn't happen, and it's going to happen now. So I'm pretty sure that it will happen. I'm sure MTK will pull out all the stops to make that fight happen, and deliver the final of the Golden Contract. And I think it's a tough fight. It's going to be a very physical fight. But I'd side with Jazza Dickens personally. I think they both had hard fights and both had long careers. I think Jazza is a little bit sharp. He's got a little bit fresher legs, and I just think stylistically he could probably make Walsh look old later on in the fight.
Is that a fight you'd fancy against the winner of that, whether it's Dickens or Walsh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, winner or loser, they're both. But at this stage, if I beat Reece Bellotti, at this stage, if I fought the winner or if I fought the runner-up, then both would progress my career. And that's what I'm interested in, is progressing my career. At the moment, I want the best fights, the biggest and best fights to get me to world level as soon as possible. I'm not saying I'm desperate in a rush, but what I'm saying is I want to get there as quick as possible, and the easiest route, not easy, the fastest route possible.
Do you kind of look at the world rankings on a regular basis and kind of pick names that are higher than you and think, well, yeah, he'd be good style-wise for me, or he's someone I could probably beat, although he's got an elevated ranking, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I look at the rankings. I don't particularly pick out people and study them and say, oh, this is why I beat them, this is why I beat them. But you know, every time Dave says, right, we've got a date, we just need to get an opponent, or we've got a date secured, and we're looking for hopefully a good fight, I'll be looking for the rankings saying, let me fight him, and they're all ranked above me, because as a fighter you want to progress, don't you? So there's no point looking backwards. I never look at people behind me, I look at the people in front of me, and they're the people that I want to overtake.
And then is it up to Dave to an extent to kind of rein you in a little bit and be that wise head, if you like?
Yeah, well, that's his job as a manager and a friend. I think he has got his route mapped out for me, and it's on a fight by fight basis, isn't it? Because if you don't perform as well as you think you're going to, then all right, your next fight you will progress. but it might not be a bigger leap than expected. Might need a few more learning fights, but the way things are going at the moment and the way I'm feeling and looking in the gym and inspiring, then I think he's happy to be in a rush like I am.
Great stuff. Before we let you go, you've asked this before, but just let people out there know how they can find you on social media so they can get a bit closer and know a bit more about you.
Oh, I've forgotten my tags now. You can find me on David Colwell's Instagram story 5 days out of 7 shadowboxing. That I think my Instagram tag is at it's Jordan Gill, and on Twitter it's at _Jordan Gill. So if you put in Jordan Gill in the search bar, there's a good chance you'll find me.
Usually works, yeah. Good stuff. Well, hopefully get to see you in person soon. Certainly be watching the fight with Reece Bellotti, which everyone's looking forward to. And stay safe, obviously. We all want to see that fight take place, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, Jordan. Take care, mate.